Hey, good morning. Let's reach it up, lean over side to side to side to side, and let's make our circles and you keep going. Zoom has decided it needs to do an update and it just covered up the entire screen with the update message. There we go. Now I can see you. Okay. And let's take our hands to our shoulders and we'll do our elbow circles. Nice big circles, pushing all the way back and around, bringing those elbows together. And let's take our arms out to the side, pull your shoulders away from your ears, squeeze the shoulder blades in, and make those tiny little circles. Creating tension in your fists helps, not quite sure, irradiate, I think is the right word, get the nervous system moving into the right muscles. And let's flip backwards. So create that tension, squeeze those muscles, move that shoulder, and around we go. Now let's roll the arm in the socket. Okay. We have a lot of upper body today. And you guys are lucky because I had a good night's sleep last night for the first time in a long time. Last week I felt like I was dragging. So if you want to work out to remember for week 5, this might be it. We'll see how it goes. Good. And let your arms relax, take the tension out of your hands, let your arms swing, loosen everything up. Can't get too tired before we start to work it, right? And let's twist. Just feeling what your rib cage feels like. Let's do a little bit more rotational work. So come into a split stance. And if you want to be bold, you can bring your feet more in line like you're on a tightrope, but you don't have to. Let's bring our arms into goalpost arms. And keeping your hips facing forward, we're going to turn as far to one side as we can, back to center, and to the other. So it's tempting to want to move through your legs. Keep your feet forward and your hips forward. And just challenge where you get stuck. See if you can push through and rotate just a little more. Nice. Good. Good. Let's roll our shoulders out. Now you can let your arms relax. Let's come down to our hips, pop them out. And doubles. Make the move, work into it. And we'll turn those into big circles. Check in with how everything's feeling. And reverse direction. Ooh, I've got my knees and ankles popping. So. And let's do some figure 8s. Nice. And reverse direction. Good, let's come down to the knees real quick. Just checking in with how your ankles are feeling. We're going to do a lot more ankle work. And circle around the other way. And then let's plant the ball of your foot into the floor. Really plant the ball there and circle out your ankles. 6. And reverse. Up, 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 up. Let's go to the other side. Popcorn ankles this morning. Popcorn knees too. I don't know how much you can hear. Sounds like I'm going to explode out of the bag in the microwave. There we go. Okay. So let's come nice and wide. And we'll go side, hold, side, hold. Easing into that stretch on the inner thigh. Let's do one more set, singles. And let's take it to doubles. Each time, think about pushing your hip back just a little bit more. Weight on your heels. Sinking down maybe just a little bit lower. Focusing that muscle to stretch and move. Last set. And then you can turn your feet out and your toes out and sink down into a squat, elbows on your thighs. We're going to lift up one heel, lift up the other. So chest up, eyes up. Don't do this because that's going to go right into your back. You want everything in your hips and your legs holding you. So either position works, whatever's more comfortable. And then let's do both heels up. Let's do 4 more. 7, 8. And heels down. Bring your hands down to the floor. We'll do 8 bottoms up. So 8. Oh, enjoy that stretch. 7, 6. See if you can keep more of your hand down on the floor. The longer we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it in that squat. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. We'll go side to side. I can take cues from the people on the screen. We're going in a different order. But you know me, and I don't change it very often. So let's do 2 more sets side to side. Always good to work that rotation. And then we bring our hands down to the floor, sink back into the squat. Bring your arms up to the ceiling, both arms, and stand. And let's do 2 more like this. Fold it down, sink it down, lift it up, stand up. Fold, squat, reach, stand, bring your hands back down on your knees, and let's drop those shoulders. 1 shoulder at a time. And roll it up. Let's go into our ankle wiggles. Finding your balance on 1 foot. Nice. Upper leg should be pretty still. Movement coming from around the ankle. Then we're going to rotate from the hip and lift the inside of your heel up to the ceiling. So see if you can get your knee out towards the wall. Do a couple more, and we'll switch sides. So find your balance, ankle wiggles. Then we're going to rotate from that hip, turn that knee out, and lift your heel up. Good. $17, 18, 2 more. Good. And let's step nice and wide, nice and wide. Keep opening up those hips. We have our single leg squats coming up. Oh boy. Okay, so let's find a wall or something to lean on. It can be a piece of furniture, it can be a bench, a chair. It doesn't matter what the height is, as long as you're able to get a stretch in that calf. So starting with, I'm on my right side, you're going to press that heel down into the floor, keeping the legs straight. Let your body weight and gravity build that stretch. Take your left leg and swing it forwards and back. And then we'll go across your body. Check in and make sure your right heel is still planted into the floor. Don't come out of it. It's going to be tempting, but don't come out of it. And then let's rotate in that arc. You should feel every muscle in the lower part of your right leg working and stretching. Good. And then let's walk it in just a little bit. So I'm still on my right leg. I'm going to bend that knee. Ooh, it's a foot warmer. Putting my foot on the heater. Bend that knee, keep that heel planted. You feel the muscles on the front of your leg working to bring your toes towards the shin. And slowly you stand by your Achilles, getting a nice big stretch. And let's switch sides. So left leg is back, heel is down on the floor. Find that stretch and start swinging your right leg. And then let's go across, about 10 swings each way. And then going into that arc. So we're rotating around the hips or from the hips and the upper body, challenging the stretch in your lower leg. Good. And then let's walk it in just a little bit. Bend that knee. You can lean into it. And just hang out there. Warm up my other toes. Other foot's toes. There we go. See how far you can bend. So the rule of thumb that physical therapists look for optimal ankle mobility is if you were 4 inches away from the wall, could you bend your knee without lifting your heel and touch the wall with your knee? I cannot do that. So when you see me in weird stances, it's because my ankles just don't move quite that way. And I've been trying for years. But enough about me, let's get back to you. We have our single leg squat with the hop. So the first time we go through this, we're going to alternate this with our side planks. As we go through this, we are going to hop first and focus on control as we're landing, eccentrically making that muscle do the work. So we want stability in the ankle. Ooh, get those pops out some more. This cramps, make sure your feet are feeling ready, make sure your ankles are feeling ready. Sit down so you know where the start is and you know roughly where your feet need to be. Sometimes when you hop, if you hop forward and try to sit down, I don't want you to miss the bench. So just come up to standing, we're gonna hop straight up, whoop, control, 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 all the way down. Up, whoop, touching down. Just because I'm doing it, I'm gonna say it's safe. No criticism. So find your balance after you jump and land. Next time round, we're going to focus on the propulsion. And let's switch sides. Whew. Okay, so find your seat, stand up, we're going to hop, low and lower down. 2, 3, 4, little pop. 5, 6. So I know I say no plopping, but in the beginning when you're learning this, plopping is inevitable. So catch your breath, I'm gonna grab a drink, I'll meet you on the floor with the band. Sounds like a game of Clue. Coach Debbie on the floor with the band. Who killed who? So side planking. Feel free to do it from your knee. or staggered stance. Top foot in front or legs stacked. Your choice. If you have a band, we're going to anchor it with the bottom hand. Come up into that side plank, and your hips are going to follow your hand. So as you pull up and down, good. And we have 2 more. And bring that hip down. Let's pivot around. Go for the other side. So your choice of leg position, up to you. Just make sure you're in that straight line. As your elbow comes up, your hip comes up. You release that row, your hip comes down. Thanks. And it looks like I'm not pulling very much on this band because I picked up one of those small diameter bands. Just doesn't move very much. 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, and 12. We'll fix that next time. Catch your breath. And when you're ready, we'll focus on doing a single leg squat and then popping right back up into that hop. So we're just a little bit of a different emphasis. You might be flopping down to the bench a little bit more than you had been. The hops are deceptive. Everybody hops, right? You should be able to hop. Even if you have an injury, you know what a hop is and you think, oh yeah, I should be able to do that. It's very demanding on your nervous system. So when you're adding that together with trying to control an eccentric movement going down, you're asking your legs to do a shit ton of work. So let's be mindful of that. We're going to go for 10 of them. And did we do 10 or did we do 8? 8, 10, 8. We're doing 8. Thank you. So one day I'll be able to count, but who knows? Maybe never. But let's, from here, come up to standing. We'll start here, lower ourselves down, 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 and pop it up. Don't lose your bench. Lower, 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 and pop. So see how fast you can come down. Come into that hop. Or don't worry about how pretty yours are. Mine aren't pretty either. Whew. Nice. Catch your breath. No need to torture yourself. Going boom, 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 one side to the other. If you're thinking these are really hard, they really are really hard for all the reasons I just described. So let's start up on side 2. Lower, 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 and hop. Lower, 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 and hop. You can see my right leg is down. My left leg, after all the single leg work I do with you, is still struggling to catch up. So I'm a little slower. I plop a little more. I hold that bottom position a little bit longer. But you know what? We keep working it. Let's do one more. Woo. Nice. Woo. Give your legs a little massage, a little jiggle. Everybody's legs jiggle. Okay. And let me find a better band. Here we go. You got a lot of movement out of this one. It'll feel much better. So if you felt like it was too hard, the emphasis on this is getting your back and your hip muscles and your obliques working together. So you don't have to go super hard. If you're using a weight instead of a band, you don't have to go super heavy. You just want that side rowing motion going. So come into your side plank and let's go. Nice. 8. Whew. And then swing it around. So it's 8 degrees outside. I think it's feeling like 108 degrees in here today. So let's come up into our side plank, up and down. 2, 3, very nice. 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 3 more. 2 more. Oh. Okay. Band to the side. You can put your chair away, your bench away. Let's take a minute. Stretch out those quads. Let your heart rate come down. And turn your heater down if you need it. It's supposed to be a brilliantly sunny day today, and yet we have snow flurries. You think this town sits in a cloud. When the storms come through, it just hangs out here. Let's switch sides, stretching out the quads. So up next, we have our 6 exercises, alternating upper and lower, maybe a little bit more upper than lower. If you haven't been doing the split squats with your rear foot up, give it a try. Push yourself. This is the last time we're doing this specific workout. See what it feels like to do with your foot up on the bench. We've done these before, but then transitioning. Imagine you got your foot caught on something and you were going to trip. Could you control that descent? Come into a plank position and get yourself up. Even if you skip the push-up, I'm going to encourage you to give it a try. And I need one drink before I torture myself with that. I find, and actually a few people find, that push-ups where your hands are down and your feet are up are harder because you have more gravity you're pushing against. Anyway, I actually find them easier. It's an easier position for me to be in, and I have no idea why. But you might want to give it a try too. It sounds scary having your foot up and your head down and trying to do a push-up. But even if you can get into that position, hold the plank, bend your elbows a little bit, it's a good one to get used to. So we're going to go for 8 on each side. So we're going to split squat down, reach down, foot up, little push up, bring your other foot through, split squat. That's 1. I think last week I got sloppy with my counting. 2. And then up, we're always counting push-ups. But we have a split squat on either side. So that means double split squats. I think that's 3. And for your watching at home, go ahead and pause this. We're going at a different pace than you are. So we're lifting up, split squat, setting up for the next one. Split squat. 6. We only have 2 more. Split squat down, reach down, foot up, push up, other foot forward, up. This is 7. Last set, down, reach, push up, change sides, come up. Oh, my legs are quaking. How are you guys doing? I'd say I am breathing hard, puffing, puffing, and hooing. You don't want to hear it? Just do what I do, crank your music up. Grab a drink. I will meet you on the floor with your weights. We're doing our chest press 1.5 or 1.25. Should probably just call it a pulse. So we did 12 last week. I think let's keep it at 12 this week and see what it feels like. So if it felt easy last week and your weights are too light, go a little bit heavier and challenge yourself that way. But that extra pulse, well, one, it takes more time, but also it adds that little something extra that makes it a little bit harder. So flattening your back on the floor. If you want more challenge, you can try doing it with your feet up in tabletop. We'll do that next round. So let's go up, down, up, all the way down. So we're going to work on that top half of the movement. Control that descent, push it up, all the way down. No rotation necessary. I think this move is pretty demanding. If you wanted to add rotation, we'll do that next time. Set 2, we'll crank it up. I think this is 12. Let's bring the weights down safely. So I thought of another reason why weightlifters wear gloves. I mean, of course, they wear them so that their hands don't get sweaty and slippery on the weight, and to prevent calluses from lifting said weights. But it's 8 degrees outside. I think my weights are in the negative numbers. The metal is just so cold. It's like I need something to keep my hands warm. Okay, so we're going to come up to standing. And then we're going to do our single leg deadlifts. And remember, what we're trying to do is, how can I show you? I'll show this way. We want to come down with your hips level, which might mean our tendency is to rotate up over that standing leg. So all our weight is centered over that leg. We want to challenge ourselves to be this way. So both hips are working to hold you, but it's a little bit different relationship to gravity, your center of gravity. Doesn't matter which hand you're holding the weight in. Well, however, let's keep those hips square. And we are going for 12 of these as well. Perfectly okay to keep them kickstand. If your balance is off this morning, might be a smart thing for me to do too. It's also a little bit easier to practice keeping your hips square when your foot is down on the ground. If you need to hold on to something for balance, that's fine. We just want that standing leg doing the work. Beautiful, looks great. And my count is off because I was talking. Here we go, shake your hips out, let's switch sides. Again, your choice where you hold the weight. You can shift hands halfway through like I did last time. It might help to aim the weight more towards your standing foot than trying to put it straight down. Keep those hips square. Good, nice work. Then shake your hips out a little bit. Grab some weights for doing biceps. We have 2 more standings, and then we're back on the floor. So we're going to do W curls, 1 and a pulse, 1.5, 1.25. Actually, halfway is 90 degrees. So let's focus on that. So we'll do the top half again. So all the way up, down, up, down all the way. Kind of hard controlling that descent. 3, depending on how heavy your weight is. 4. Try to keep your elbows in more towards your ribs. You don't need to hold on to your body with your elbows. Looks good. Let's do one more. Down, up, down all the way. Put one weight down. Let's take a second and you take your hands straight back and flip your thumbs up. You can open and close your fists too. Circle your wrists. Give your arms a little break. Swing them around. Let's go right into our curtsies. So we're going to go for, oh my God, a whopping 12 on each side. 12 days of Christmas, 12 days of everything, 12 movements on everything today too. So curtsy, step together or balance, your choice. 2, 3. And 11, 12. See if you can get that snap with your elbow going back. 2, 3. And whew, let's shake out those tired arms. Come down on the floor. Oh, this actually feels really good. Let's have your hands behind you. We have tricep extensions. And then we're going to get through this one more time. Okay. Oof. So reaching up, we're going to do the top half of this one, just like we did on the others. Going down, up, down halfway up, down all the way, and all the way up. Halfway down 2, halfway down for 3, all the way down, all the way up, way down for 4, and 5. Make sure your elbows are staying all the way up. 6, towards your ceiling. Not flaring out to the sides, not falling down to the front. This is 8. Whew. 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we are done. Take a moment and stretch, make yourself nice and long. Let your sides stretch, let your arms stretch. Gently pull on your arm. You can crescent or not crescent, your choice. I choose to crescent because it feels good down the side. Switch sides, pull on that arm gently, stretch out that arm, shake it out. This windshield wiper your knees, check in with your hips, how they're feeling. Actually, let's start with your knees together. We'll do a mobility drill. Knees together, feet out about as wide as your mat. So we're starting in this funny position. Then you take your knees apart, drop one knee in as far as you can and see if you can get it down to the floor. Bring it up, drop the other knee down. and see if you can get it down to the floor. So starting like your knock knee, do one side at a time. How much effort does it take to get your knee down just a little bit more? That's the stretch you want. And then hug your knees in. Give your back a little rest. We'll take about a minute. And then maybe I won't jabber so much and we'll get through this next round before you guys have to go to work. So 20 more seconds, shake out your arms. Maybe see if you're coordinated enough to butt kick and swing your arms at the same time, or whatever move you need. Oh, we turned around. Okie dokie. Let's put one foot up behind us. It's survival, it's the last round. Last time you're doing this, max it out or do what you can, but do not give up. Split squat, fold, press, step it forward and up and down. Split squat, fold, little press, 2, up and down. And 3, other leg forward and up and down. And fold, 4, up. There we go. For 5. Next. 7. Ooh, my legs are shaking. We have one more. Split squat, fold, press, step it forward, and come on up. Good work. Take your legs out, find your heavier weights, and I'll meet you down on the floor. We'll go for another round of chest press. So just like we did last week, we did first round, top half of the movement. Second round, we're going to focus on the bottom. And that's where we'll start. We give everybody a chance to get into position. You want to try it with your knees up. Give that a go. You don't want to tuck in. You want to make sure your knees are forward. Make your abs work a little bit harder. So push your knees forward just a little bit so they're in front of your hips. There you go. And we're going to go up for half, down, up all the way. That's 1. Here comes 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to 12, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I did not add the rotation. That's okay. Still did the work. Windshield wiper your hips. Let's roll it up. Move your heavy weights out of the way. Or any of your weights. And we'll come up to standing. We have our single leg deadlift. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. Again, we're going 12 on each side. Ooh, takes time. Find your balance. Reach. Good. Lower and lift. Standing leg should be pretty damn tired. 3, 4. Chest press gave it a break. Looks good. And switch sides when you're ready. Everybody's looking strong, 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 strong. Fight for that balance, spread out your toes. See if you can go a little deeper into it without rounding your back. Good. Last 2. Good work. Do some hula hoops. Hug your knee up into your chest. Let your lower back round. Let your whole back round if you want. And let's pick up our weights. We're doing biceps. So don't forget the additive principle of weightlifting. With the smaller weights, they're easier to add. Put 2 weights together and make something that's the right thing. So we did the top half. Now we're going to do the bottom half. Pause here, lower down, and come all the way up, all the way down. This is 2. Down. 3. All the way up, all the way down. 6. 7, almost there. 8. 9. 10. Use your breath. 11. And 12. Okay. Bonus. Crisscross. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Stay as long as you can. 11, 12. Good. Okay, weights down. I was just going to make the triceps a little bit harder. So it's a lack of sympathy, not a lack of haha. This is hard. Okay, curtsy lunge. See if you can find your balance. If you haven't been lifting your knee up, see if you can find your balance. Think about spreading your toes on the floor. If you got that down and you're doing this, see if you can add an extra pop, because just adding that intensity is going to help throw you off balance. Find that stability. Try it for a few of them. You don't have to do it for all of them. See what it feels like. So we're going to curtsy down and pop. 2. 8. 9. 3. Big deep breath. Let it out. Side 2. Here we go. Down, up. Whoops. 2. 3. Okay. Almost done, almost done. You earned that stretch. We have one more exercise to go. Our triceps. And just like we did with the others, last set we did the top half. This set we're doing the bottom half. So we'll go all the way down, up halfway, down, up all the way. 2, 3, 4. You can do it with your knees up, or your feet up if you want. 6. Make sure you're not in danger of hitting your head or your ears with your weights. Find time for me to remind you of this. Woohoo, 10. And 12. Oh. Bring the weights down. Let's go into a nice big long pencil stretch. Make yourself as long as you can on the floor, hands reaching one direction, feet going the other. And then let's turn that into a crescent. Feet go to one side, hands go to the other. Hips and shoulders stay on the floor. And just let everything's going to the left, let your right side expand. If you're going the other way, it's the other side. And gently pull on your right arm and get that stretch a little bit deeper into your arm. And slide everything back to center. And we'll take our feet to the right and our arms to the right. Pulling gently on your left arm, extending that stretch. Big breath in and let it out nice and slow. Let your heart rate come down, let your breathing come back to normal. And come back to center. Let's bring your knees up into tabletop. I'm going to shift forward and rearrange so I can see the clock so we don't run out of time. There we go. Okay. So knees up and let's go side. Nice big stretch through your side body. Bring it up and let's twist down to the other side. And let's do that maybe 2 more times on each side. Let's go right. Good. And then tuck your knees in. Let's make some circles. Your knees, make sure you give yourself a chance to go in both directions. So I'm going to switch right now. And then let's bring your ankle on top of your knee. You're going to pull, I have my left over right, pull my right thigh in, push my left thigh away. You don't want to push right on your knee, you want your hand on your thigh bone. You never want to pull or push right on a joint. Tempting as it may be. Good. So pull and push. Get a stretch through the SI joint area, through those deeper rotator muscles. And let's bring that right foot down, keeping that knee pressed away. You can take your hand away. Let's twist down to the right and open up the left hip. I'm getting at where that IT band comes through, right in here. Bring it up. Let's cross your knee over knee. So we should move the ankle off the knee. It's knee over knee. We're twisting to the left. So your right hip is getting a chance for a stretch this time. And then we'll come back to center and hook both legs in. See if you can get your back to relax. We did a lot of leg work today. More repetitions than we've done, and maybe even with a heavier weight than you've used. So I know I feel it a little bit in my low back, just that it was working. So give it a chance to stretch and rest. You can wiggle side to side. You can tip a little bit over to the right. Not all the way over. You just want to go enough so you get a deeper stretch. Let's come back to center, bring your feet down, and we'll try to remember that whole sequence on the other side. So right ankle over left knee. We're going to pull your left leg towards you, reaching behind your thigh, and we're going to push that right thigh away from you. And then let's bring that left foot down. Press, take your hand away from the thigh, press that knee away from you, and twist down to the left. So this time we're opening through the front of your hip into the side of your hip where the IT band is. Keep that knee pushing towards whatever's in front of you. And then let's come up. We'll put knee over knee, twist down to the right. Oh my goodness, this feels good. There we go. Nice big stretch on the left hip one last time. And then coming back to center, let's hug both legs in. And twist just a little bit to your left. Let your right hip have a nice big stretch, deep, deep, deep in those rotator muscles of your hip. If you felt tight with the first stretch, the figure four stretch where we're pushing and pulling, hopefully this feels a little bit better. Okay, so let's roll it over. Let's make big restorative hip circles. Maybe 3 or 4 times each direction. And then let's take one arm through, thread the needle, reach across, reach forward, sink your hips back, bring your head down. And then let's come back up, reach through the other side, and sink it back down. Let your back have a nice big stretch. And let's come up to sitting. Any comfortable position, doesn't have to be on your knees. You can even come up to standing. Pull down with your arms. Pull your shoulders. I'm mixing up body parts, not good. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Open up across the chest. Lift up your hands. You can look down if that feels good. You can also look up. So right now for me, looking down is better. I'm getting a better stretch through my neck. And one last stretch. Let's get your triceps. So let's reach down the middle of your back and pull back on your elbow. Nice big stretch. We are just about done. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. And then we have a little break. You have feedback, you have thoughts. Just shoot me a message. I'm here for you. Have a wonderful day, a good couple of days, stay warm, stay healthy, and I'll see you on Thursday.